I rode my dirt bike today. Rate me 1 to 10.
1 to 10. I'm gonna give you a 9.7. That was no. Listen, I haven't seen the racy side of AJ. I don't think ever really. Listen, no, and that's not an insult. He just always rides in his comfort zone. At the end of the day, you are not the person to get into a flow halfway through your last 20 lap moto of the day and start knocking off tenths off those lap times, lap after lap after lap. So to see that was unbelievable. And the track was hammered.
It was hammered. And I was feeling a flow. It actually felt really good. I can't wait. And what's the date? December 4th? So I think the first race is February 5th.
Yeah, it's close.
So we're exactly 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months out.
So yeah, today we were out at the dog pound. You said you rode your dirt bike, but
we all got to go.
We all got to go to the dog pound, which was pretty amazing. But yeah, AJ busted out 3 20-lap motos.
Well, what I was going to say is I've never seen you ride that long. And like you skipped the whoops once, one moto.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was full laps the whole time. And good. Like, yeah.
The first one was ugly. The second one got better. And the third one felt really good until I got my flat tire. Really good. Yeah, it feels quite nice and it's fun to have the group there, actually. Then the ice bath felt good. It's just cool to have a facility to show up like that and then just ride and grab my little Honda duffel bag and walk out of there and leave when I'm done. It's so easy. Yeah. And it's fun.
So like what have your last few years, like for those who maybe just started following you or don't even know, like your last 3 years, your month leading up to Supercross, what has it been?
Working on my business, traveling around, doing classes, not riding at all. So there's been years, let me try and remember here. So like 2020, I showed up to the first round. I think I did all of the 450 rounds. So I did A1. I showed up to A1 and I hadn't touched a Supercross track since Vegas. Whatever year they had Vegas for the last round. Right. This was the year I'm talking about, 2019, 2020. It was Vegas. The previous year in May was the last time I had touched a Supercross track. So I remember closing my eyes when I was down there in the infield, getting ready for first practice and thinking, okay, Vegas wasn't that long ago. It was just May. Like, let's think about the triple. Let's think about the rhythm sections and like trying to remember what this is like. That's how I've been operating for as long as I can remember. Yeah. The last time I trained, I built a Supercross track in 2017, and I got arm pump surgery that year. But I was on a 450. I was still young and stupid. My headspace was stupid.
Was that where was the Supercross track?
At Tomahawk. So the problem with that is the weather got crappy 3 weeks before January.
Yeah.
Then Supercross started, and then once Supercross started, I was riding in the snow. So it just, it was like a half-ass effort.
Yeah. Did it do any good, or does it almost do more harm than good trying to train in those kind of conditions?
I was more competitive that year. Like I rode for a Yamaha team on the 250. I made pretty much all of those main events. I was top 5 in heat races. I made 450 main events. So I was like, okay. And then before that, it was 2013, 2014, 2015. And that was before I created Moto Academy, which was AJ Catanzaro Moto X Academy at the time in 2016. So 2013, 14, 15 were my last years of...
What just happened?
I was texting my father. Sorry. Continue.
That's okay.
Yeah, he was just telling you a deep, heartfelt.
Unbelievable.
I was listening.
I thought you just realized how short his shorts were.
Main events.
What years did I train?
Before then?
Yeah.
A lot of them. Most of them. Some of them.
So what year are we in? We're going into 23 Supercross. So it's been since, it's been 8 years. And it feels quite nice. It's exciting. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yep. And the good thing is now I'm mature enough and smart enough to know that there's no expectations, there's no reason to be nervous, and I'm just going to enjoy it just the same, but even more because I'm actually prepared.
How many people lining up on the gate this year are in a situation that, I mean, genuinely, your results at these rounds, like doing better might help, but doing worse is not going to hurt your standing in the industry at all.
No, well, that's the best part. I only have things to gain,
Yeah.
right? If I go out and don't make a single main event and ride horribly, which would never happen with this much preparation, what does it matter? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So a lot of people aren't in that pit. There's a lot of people, and I've been in this situation before, that are at the Supercross races and operating out of desperation. And that's
Right.
not a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, and
guys that
and-
don't
and
have
like,
money,
this is
they don't have a plan B, they need to do well.
This preseason, we've seen like some horrific injuries, like leading up, and I feel like that's probably a contributing factor. It's like this is like pretty do or die situation as far as like livelihood for a lot of these riders. You know, fighting for a spot on a team, trying to prove their spot on a team in that, and like we're in crunch time before A1. And it's like we're seeing some pretty horrific injuries coming out of training camps across the industry.
Also, this is a time of year where a lot of the riders are in the same weeks of their boot camp, and meaning like almost reaching burnout. You know what I mean? So I was talking to Dazzy this week, and you know they're doing a slow week because it was like, holy cow, we've done so many weeks in a row since Des Nations that they needed it. And so I think what happens is you reach that level of fatigue, you're still trying to do the motos, and then you make one stupid, silly little mistake. Although I know specifically like Hartraf, I hope Hartraf feel better. That was bike situation, I think,
Yeah.
right? Bike cutout.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
so
that
what's
sucks.
like we know what your schedule's been like. Probably about mid-November you started.
Yeah, November
Yeah, because
15th,
it was after
November
our Tampa,
16th.
our Tampa date
Yeah.
with the Lawrence brothers. So about halfway through November.
November 16th, and I
you've been
had
doing 3 days a week?
I had 1 month of. I had like 3 weeks of in the gym training before I started
Okay.
that, which was helpful.
So what would like everybody else, like you said, they're all in the same week of their Supercross boot camp.
I'm not there yet.
When do they start?
I believe like a team like Star would have started pretty like close to the end of Des Nations.
Yeah,
Wow.
October, probably October, and also they're not really taking much time off, so they get into the swing of it pretty quickly. And then, yeah, there's just some weeks in Supercross, like it's scary. Even today, so hitting the Supercross triple, turning right, and scrubbing that little roller, and then having to preload the crap out of that double.
Yeah.
That like you never knew if you were gonna get traction or not. And in the later laps, my legs were so tired. I was just like, at any point, I'm going to go to try to preload this and stand up, and I'm not going to be able to stand up. And I'm
Right.
just going to whoa and push right through it.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes in Supercross is one little like, oh, I mistimed that because
And
my
we heard
legs
a
got
couple.
tired.
Today.
Yeah.
There was a couple of them.
Not just you.
Yeah.
We heard a lot of the other boys.
Yeah, that track today
were
was
struggling.
mangled.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of bikes out there. And a lot of guys that were like, there was 2 or 3 guys riding first day. You had Benny on the 450, you had Jonah on the 350. So like different bike sizes, a lot of different techniques kind of. So
Yeah.
the lines were just all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why I got arm pumped the first couple of motos, because I was like, what? It was just so hard to ride. But if you guys are enjoying these podcast clips and you want to watch full episodes, you can subscribe at club.themotoacademy.com.